Hello, everyone who is on this live stream today. My name is Bruce Williams, and I'm a political commentary person. I speak mostly on politics. I am right wing, America First. We have so much to talk about. I'm not in a good mood today, by the way. I'm really not. Especially the news coming out of the Middle East. Um, Recently, a Catholic church was demolished by Israel. And, before I get into all of this, I do a lot of disclaimers because a lot of you people who will probably be in the chat, which I will not be looking at today, because a lot of you love to come on here and try to distract me from saying what I need to say regarding anything about, um, you know, politics in the Middle East, especially when it comes to Israel. So I will take off all the comments for right now. But if you want to, you can say anything in the chat. And at the end, I will look at them and I will go over them. But I really want to talk about um, the churches that have been demolished in the Middle East by Israel. There's an ongoing conflict in the Middle East between Israel and every other Middle Eastern country. Literally, I feel like there's no ally to Israel in the Middle East whatsoever. Well, of course there is, like Egypt, but they're like paid to be allies to Israel. Jordan is paid to be allies for Israel as well. And some other Middle Eastern countries are coming around to be allies with Israel because it's either because they're paid or they are installed. That's how it always been. Any allies that have been allies with Israel is because they are paid or installed by way of America, or them basically trying to convey that America should get involved with a Middle Eastern country so they can have a ally in the Middle East, because they continue to bomb every single person, every single thing around them. It doesn't matter what you are. Like, if you're in their way, they're gonna bomb you. um, and it's honestly sad. Like, I feel so bad for the Christians that are in Gaza. Um, and it seems like Christians nowadays, like, they don't care. Like, if you are a different race, if especially if you're Arabic, whatever. Like, if you're an Arab, like, they don't care. Like, they're like, oh, like, I see white Jews, so I'm with them. I'm with the white Jews because they look white, they look like me, so I'm with them. But they forget that there are also Christian brothers and sisters that do live in Gaza, that are a part of the 650,000 that is starving. Like, it's insane how they have restricted their water, their food, humanitarian aid, murdering these poor children, women, and men, trying to get food for themselves and for their children. And then they're bombing their churches. It's sad. Like, there was 3 killed in Gaza, a Catholic church. Yes, there are churches in Gaza. You forgot, did you? Or you just don't care. Like, you don't care. It doesn't phase you. It doesn't matter to you. Like, you're a comfortable American that is being basically screwed by your own government to ensure that another country is reaping all the benefits from our taxpaying dollars. You don't care about that because you believe Jews are the chosen people of this nation and the world. You're nothing. That's what you're saying. You're nothing. Um, Support the nation of Israel, because like that's the only thing that you believe in, right? It's really sad to see, so many on your timeline. You can't escape it. No one can escape it. And I'm not a pro-Palestine person, like, pro-Palestine, like, no, I'm America first, sir. And I believe that, like, America should cut ties with um, adversaries such as Israel that continues to use foreign agents to blackmail and lobby our politicians to do whatever they want for another foreign nation. I just think it's horrible. And also campaign against our local politicians that don't wholeheartedly support a foreign nation such as Israel. I just think it's horrible. Like, what? And go after your freedom of speech. What? I don't understand. So the title of this is that Christians are supporting Christian murder in the Middle East, because it's true. Because I don't see enough people that are Christians, and I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I am a Christian myself, and I believe that it's important that we should be outraged. Why are you not outraged? Why are you not speaking out against this? Why are you, like, dilly-dallying behind Trump, who wants to go after Thomas Massie for publicly trying to make the Epstein files be released? I don't understand. Like, why are you saying that this is a Democratic hoax when it comes to that? Like, so you're supporting pedophilia, you're supporting murdering of Christians, and you think that's right? I don't think that's right. I think it's awful. I think it's absolutely awful. And you guys should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. It was 3 murdered and 10 injured, women and men and children. It's sad. Like, I can't stand the lies for Bibi Netanyahu. He's like, oh, Gaza church strike was just a mistake. Just another mistake. So 4 mistakes later, there was a church in Lebanon that was bombed. And there was 2 other churches in Gaza that was bombed. And I think actually, no, it was 3 other churches that was bombed in Gaza, and this is the 4th one. It's a Catholic church. So how many mistakes is it going to be? And what was the possible cause of this? Was it Hamas is hiding under the church? They're hiding under the church. Is that what it is? Is that's what it is? You have all these weapons, all the equipment to go in on foot to see if this is true, then bombing the place. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just simply doesn't make sense to me. It makes me very angry. I think it's a lie. They don't like Christians. Who, please, if you actually think that Jews love Christians, like, they don't even believe in Jesus. They don't even believe that he is the Messiah. Like, how dare you sit there and propagate that they're on your side? It makes no sense. The only time you'll see Christians on their side is either because they're stupid, ignorant, or they are literally bought and paid. They're literally paying, like, Christian pastors to talk against, like, Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson because, they're speaking against Israel and the atrocities that's happening in Gaza and using our taxpayer dollars to, continue to murdering more people. Seems like they're murdering way more of the civilians than Hamas. It's absolutely abhorrent, and it's sad. It truly is. I can't stand it. I hate to see it. I think that, like, you should have a heart. I think that there was a time when we was all very anti-war, and now we're like, yeah, let's go to war with Iran. Let's go to war with Lebanon. Let's go to war with Syria. Let's continue to go to war, because Bibi Netanyahu says it, because we are like their puppet, and we are blackmailed. Because I am for sure that Trump is blackmailed in some sort of way. I don't think it's probably him. It may be one of his children, or, I mean, he's like, Ivanka Trump is around Jared Kushner. We already know his involvement with, having Saudi money and, sending that money to Israel. And I guess they don't want that to be seen like, oh, there's a conflict of interest there. Like, who is he for compared to America? Like, is he more for Israel, or is he for America? Which one is it? We don't know. Is Ivanka Trump involved with that? Does she not care? Like, what is it? We don't know. I think the truth, everything that's in the dark will soon come to light. It will soon come to light whether or not you see it. And it's pretty disgusting, truly. I think what's really disgusting is seeing like, a lot of Republicans like on the side of Trump when it comes to Epstein. Even though I do know there's like a lot of people that are against Trump saying like it's a Democratic hoax. Because I feel like that most Americans that are like, within the political realm, whether you are a Democrat or not, you do support, releasing the Epstein files, right? Like you do want justice for these girls who were sexually abused. I remember like this tape I was listening to a while back of one of the victims that was talking about these Jewish people, how they used to, when they was in the room with these girls and how they would treat them like there was nothing, call them goy, and um, basically treat them like dogs and talk so like disgustingly about Christians and made them do so many different horrific things. And these people felt like that they was untouchable, like they will never, like nothing will ever happen to them. And I don't know if it's because they do have like, I have been watching Candace's Epstein files episodes that she's been doing. I think they're great, honestly. She's gained like what, I put her at 5 points. She's like at a 7 points right now because she's really going in on the Epstein thing. And I do think that they do feel like they have like the Midas touch. Like they're untouchable. They're put in places and high places where they think that they can get away with anything. And I think that that's literally what they are doing. Like, and Trump is allowing it. I like that Thomas Massie, he is my congressman. It says he is pushing for a House vote to release Epstein files, unsatisfied by the DOJ's move to unseal only grand jury testimony. A vote is likely to occur as nearly all Democrats have signed along with approximately a dozen Republicans, which is good. He's also doing this with Ro Khanna, which is I think he's from California. He's like an Indian or something like that. And, they want to have the Epstein files come out and for the public. And I like that. I think that it shows that they are dedicated to want to, get justice for these young girls. Well, they are older now, but at the time they were young girls. And I think that that's important. I think that as Christians and as people who are, decent humans, you should want justice. You should want the client list. You should want to know who are the higher ups that were, doing these disgusting things to these girls. I, I I think anyone will want to know that. Like death penalty to all of them. Honestly, in my opinion, death penalty to all of them. Um, because I think that that's probably one of the most grossest thing you could ever do to a young, underage minor or a child. I just it's disgusting, honestly. And I love that I have right here that Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's also she's going to introduce an amendment 114 to HR 580, proposing a 500 million cut to funding for Israel's missile defense systems. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she argued that Israel is a nuclear-armed nation. They can defend themselves. They have universal health care and subsidized college. Meanwhile, Americans are at $37 trillion in debt. I like that she's taking a stand. I think it's funny that, what's her name? Uh, her name is literally on my fucking tongue. I literally forgot. Her name. She's on my tongue. It's funny that she's voting against sending more money to Israel and weapons to Israel. But who is it? Where's her name again? I literally forgot her name. It's like Freaky Friday all over again. Wait, let me look it up real fast. Cause I have my iPad right here. Ha, AOC. Why? How the fuck can I forget about AOC? I don't look at AOC. Like I think she's like a Democrat plant. I don't fuck with her. I don't fuck with her. I do think she may run for president one day, and like that's gonna be like a whole different thing. AOC voted to send more weapons to Israel, even though she's like one of the first people to be out there to be against Gaza and like not against Gaza, but against like the atrocities of Gaza and things like that. But then she turns around and wants to continue to fund them. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, I'm not doing that. Like, I am America first. Like, we shouldn't be sending money to demolish Christians like in Gaza. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't. It doesn't even matter if it was Israel doing that. We shouldn't do it for any other foreign nation. And I like that she's really like pivoting on that. Her and Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie has been pivoting on that a lot. Like he's very America first. He says no on everything. He don't give a fuck. He's like, you're gonna raise the debt ceiling up? Nope. I don't care what it is. Nope. And I think that's great. Like he is focused on, the economy. He's focusing on like the future of America, and I think that's way more important. I really do. I think it's way more important. Like Israel can defend themselves. They can, and they really don't need us. They don't need us as much as people advocate that they do. I don't think they need us. I don't. But it seems like that they just can't take their hands off of us. And I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but what I do know, I think that looking at all of this is very promising. It shows at least that we do have some politicians out there that is willing to pivot, and despite that most people in the House and also in the Senate, especially Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson is a cuck for Israel as well. Like all these people like are so engulfed in like that Israeli money, and it's disgusting either because they're just Jewish. Like I don't it's gross. It honestly is. But I think it's promising that we do have some people that I will vote for. I'm gonna vote for Thomas Massie. I don't care what no one says. I'm gonna vote for him in the primaries because he's always been so honest, and that's what I like. I like to see honest people in our in the House and Senate that is actually going to do what's best for this country. I think that it's great. He's also talking about protecting the farmers, which is great. Which I think is insane that Trump was like, he was asked about, it was recently, what was it, like, I think it was a week ago or two, where he was asked about why is China having, like, they own so much farmland here in America, and especially in the same sites where there are military bases and things like that, and Trump was like, oh, me and China, we're good now. So I don't really want to get into that. He was basically like, I don't even want to get into that because they have this deal in terms. But I think that's really important to question why they have so many, why they own so many farmland here. That doesn't make sense. So I think it's great that Thomas Massie is looking out for Americans, especially here in Kentucky, when it comes to our farmers, because I think that they're very important. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know much. I don't know a lot about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't, but I do know that she's always been an advocate for being against like children's safety, protecting children from trans ideology, and women in restrooms, and I find her very campy. I find her very campy, but I really honor this because I think that is such an America First thing, especially right now. Such an America First thing to do, to be brave enough to go out and say like, yeah, I don't want to arm Israel. I don't want to arm a foreign nation that has gotten so many benefits, and our country hasn't. Like our citizens are poorer than ever, and I think that's important to highlight, and I find that honorable. I really do. But I'm really sad. I really am sad. That's why I'm not even like as like, I'm usually like, ugh, like, but I'm actually really sad. I don't like to see children on my timeline being starved to death. Anyone shouldn't. And I don't like to see them fighting. I've seen like 2 boys fighting over a bag of rice. Insane to me. Like I take myself out of my shoes as a privileged American that is so privileged, love his life, have all the freedoms to do whatever he wants, and everyone else does in this country. having the right to have freedom of speech, have the right to vote, all these different things like that. And to take myself out of my shoes and try to put myself in theirs, I couldn't do it. Because it's like, I, how? Like, how is that? I don't know how that feels. I don't know how I'm not hungry. They're starving. There's children with, like, their bones is coming out of their skin. Like, how can you sit here and look at that and then support and continue to support that? And I have no empathy, no humility. It scares me. It scares me how no one has any humility out there when it comes to that. It really, like, children. I don't understand. Children are so precious, and they are the future. And I think it's funny that what was it? I think there was a Mossad director that came here to this to Washington. Yeah, Mossad's director visited D.C. to lobby the U.S. to pressure countries into admitting Palestinian refugees. The director of Israel's Mossad spy agency visited Washington D.C. this week, seeking U.S. help in convincing countries to take hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from Gaza. After they destroyed Gaza, destroys people's homes, buildings, their livelihoods, and they also call them terrorists. Remember that. Don't forget, they always say that they're terrorists. Which, if you continue to bomb people's, like, children, wives, husbands, grandmas, cousins, you don't think they wouldn't get angry? I don't find them to be terrorists. I find them to be like resistance. Like, they want to protect themselves, and if they know that we're funding it, why wouldn't they not want to hate us too? It's just common sense. And the fact that the Mossad's director came here to want to actually create more of a melting pot, because you already know, like, right now we are already trampled by so many illegals that came through, under Joe Biden's reign. And we couldn't get that controlled. I mean, we didn't even close the border under Trump in 2016 either. The fuck is that? Oh my god, it's a fly. Okay, whatever, it's gone. These people just continue to come here. These illegals continue to come here, and they murder, they rob, they steal, they put a bad look on our cities, and mostly majority of white states too. It's insane, and crime continues to go up. Trump is also wanting to allow more and more immigrants to come in this country, like specifically from India, take our jobs with the H-1B visas, and providing green cards to them as well if they go to school. What else? Gold cards for millionaire, like what is it, like foreigners, to create jobs here as well. Basically wanting more and more immigrants here. It's just, and Americans are left on the back burner still. So they want terrorists to come here in this country. They want more of a melting pot in many other European countries. It just never stops. It never stops. It continues to happen over and over again. And no one says anything. Everyone turns a blind eye. And it just continues to get worse. We thought that Trump was going to come through. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Kamala. I already knew what was going to happen. I was smart about it. Everyone's regretting their vote. I've seen people text me, be like, oh my God, I should listen to you. I should never vote. I should never vote it. It is what it is. Like, this is what you voted for, More immigration, less mass deportations. Jeffrey Epstein files, nothing. And if they do try to produce something to come out, like, it's probably not going to be the full story, and it's never going to be any justice, unfortunately. But this is what you vote for. This is what you get. 2028. I'm not voting either. Like, they want JD Vance to be the next person to be put in line after him. Like, no. I would rather Nick Fuentes. I would rather Nick Fuentes. I would rather like someone else, never a woman. Anyone but a woman, honestly. Um, I just no. JD Vance, like he was mentored by Peter Thiel, CIA Fed. Mm, Not living for that. He wants to spy on Americans too. I mean, what about the AI situation too? Like they want to spy on us even more, and also they want to use an AI to imprison immigrants that are here who do have green cards. If they don't support Israel, they want to send them back to wherever they came from. It's like, what happened to freedom of speech? Like we can't talk about a foreign nation. That's crazy. What's going to happen to us, American citizens that have who was born here? I I don't know. What does the future hold? What's with these anti-Semitism laws? Like, what is that going to do to Americans that do want to criticize a foreign nation? I don't know, you guys. I just want to come on here and share my thoughts. That's usually what I do. I love to come on here and share my thoughts, and I don't know. It's really sad. Those poor babies. I feel bad. I really do. But I'm gonna read some of your comments. Jesus love you. Jesus love you too. Peace and happiness. Hoping you are all right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, someone's like saying I'm gay. Okay, we already know this. Remember that you are a man. Okay, I think it's funny that I'm talking about, you know, children dying, and you can't. The only thing you talk about is gay, 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 gay. You can't. Look, see, that's the thing. I don't ever understand like how I can talk about something so deep, and that's the only thing you're harping about is like that I'm gay. Like it makes no sense. It really doesn't. But anyways, there's no comments to even like talk about here. Like fuck that. Over. Anyways, I'm done. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you guys for coming on my page and listening. Hopefully you guys speak out more against this. I think that's what that's my solution, and to recognize who is for America and who isn't when you go to vote this year, like next year in the primaries, because I think that's very important as well. Because I'm not voting for anyone if they're not America first, and don't put a foreign nation over our country. That's it. But anyways, yeah. Bye, you guys.